Dr. Neelam Mohan, it's such a privilege to have you here.
Same.
And it's absolutely a pleasure meeting you. I wanted to ask you a small question, and it's a very basic question. It's about how is the gut, how is it affecting our health? And the other thing is, why should we understand all about gut as ordinary people? Tell me
Very
about
interesting question. Actually, I always never understood and believed why people used to talk about that nane ka nuskas. So when I was doing my medical college MBBS, and I remember very vividly that a man came to me and he said कि मेरे को बहुत acidity होती है and सर पे चढ़ जाती है. And I looked at my friend and I laughed. कि क्या बकवास कर रहा है कि पेट की प्रॉब्लम है और सर पे चढ़ जाती है. And looking retrospectively, how much I've matured, or I mean, I was wrong and he was right, because it looks so absurd for somebody to say कि ऊपर चढ़ जाती है, you know. But over the days, now I realize that gentleman was not wrong, and I, as a young medical student, was not able to understand it.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things that we now understand. Is if I retrospectively see what is the thing that I've learned in the last 20 years of my career, and I've been practicing as a consultant from 1999. So you can see I have a 2.5 decades of experience as a pediatric gastroenterologist and a liver specialist. And what I have changed in my thoughts now is most of the diseases that you're talking about, the lifestyle diseases or the non-communicable diseases, are all related to gut.
Everything.
So, surprisingly, the number of papers that have come are 3,000 in the last 10-15 years, where we are trying to understand how gut is relating to chronic diseases, whether we are talking about your joint issues, your cardiac issues, your diabetes, your fatty liver. Being a liver specialist, so that, and especially 2,500 papers have come in the last 5-7 years. So our understanding is that do we live with someone, that means the microbiota in your body is much more than your own cells. So if we have 10 to the power of 13 cells, the microbiota is 10 to the power of 14. So it's like a trillion cells in you, and their weight is 2 kg, which is more than your brain and my brain. So
your brain more than me.
So what we realize is that we need to live in harmony. I mean, these microbiota have to live in harmony. And the basic things which we forgot is how to keep your gut microbiota healthy. The way you can keep them in harmony, so we call it eubiosis.
Eubiosis.
And if they become like the bad bacteria go up and the good bacteria come down, that's called dysbiosis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what is happening is our cells, they are this way, the gut is like a lumen with the cells. So they have a covering over them and a tight junctions. So when the bad bacteria get up, the layer which is there in the gut, for a layman, imagine कि उसकी coating जो थी, जो अच्छी बैक्टीरिया वो गड़बड़ हो गई, या जो cells थे वो cubicle scale के बीच में थोड़ा leak हो गया और आप absorb कर रहे हो, तो आपको जो protein या जो चीज एब्जॉर्ब करनी चाहिए शरीर में, जो नहीं करनी चाहिए, वो लीकी गट के बदले वो भी आपकी ब्लड में जा रहा है, द टॉक्सिन्स. So that's going into your blood.
That's not good news.
Exactly. So that is why this dysbiosis, the gut, is giving rise to problems like fatty liver, heart disease, diabetes, and all. And the way people are now treating it is through gut. That means if you have a fatty liver, I assume if it is non-alcoholic, then if it is related to overweight, obesity, and this, the best way I can work is through your gut.
Thanks a lot for the insight. I've already learned a lot from you.
I'll tell one more thing about children.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to children, we see a lot of, you may not see in children chronic diseases like what you're seeing in adults. But please understand that the seedling of the problems that you see in adults are laid in childhood.
Oh,
It takes
okay.
2 to 3 decades for these to manifest.
2 to 3 decades. I mean,
Exactly.
Right into your
Adulthood.
Okay.
So if you want to work in adulthood, they say you don't need to work at that. You start to work in your childhood. Get them the right values about right eating and right, because all these problems like constipation, diarrhea, functional GI disorders in children, when we come, बच्चों को पेट दर्द हो रहा है, बच्चे को constipation है, बच्चा irritable है, बच्चा, ये सारी प्रॉब्लम फंक्शनल जो हमें नहीं समझ आता था, हम उसको लेबल कर देते थे फंक्शनल मतलब कोई ज्यादा सीरियस बात नहीं है, लेकिन बात सीरियस नहीं है, लेकिन वो हमें नहीं समझ आता था और हम उनको फंक्शनल बोलते थे, और अब हमें समझ आ रहा है व्हाट वी आर सेइंग फंक्शनल आर ऑल दीज diseases where your dysbiosis is happening and giving rise to
So your antenna should go up if the child complains of any of
all
the
of this, and you must meet an expert where we need to work and see, understand about, taking your diseases forward.
things. My eyes are open now.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.